Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we picked up Sarah, and I believe the next place we were going to go to was the salon being held by Madame de Fer. Now, before we go, I do just want to loot... Yeah, too many breaches. There we go. There they all are. We'll take them. We'll sell them. Yeah, before we do go, I would just like to loot this place, because I don't believe that we can come back here. A yoink. And oh my god, 133 gold. Damn. These people were loaded. And you. Lovely. Okay, is that everything? Nope, there is someone up there. Got it. Got it. Lovely jubbly. Excellent. Okay, yes. Now then. That's enough hanging about in secluded courtyards. Time to head to a party. Yes, the Imperial Enchanter. Vivienne de Fer, the first enchanter of Monsimar, has extended an invitation to her salon at the chateau of Duke Bastien de Gislaine. Hell yes. Again, Aenor's probably thinking, why isn't Josephine coming with me? I don't do parties.
Lady Lavellen, on behalf of the Inquisition.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duke Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
You know of me, Madame de Fer. Tell me about the Duke. I know, just quietly bricking it, just being like, oh my god, just be polite. Why am I here? I'm the only elf in Eyeshot. What's going on? I've gone from one location where I didn't know what was happening due to some very, manic energy young lady, and now I'm at a party. What is life? What is Josie making me do? How dare she? You know of me, please? Please, I don't know whether Aenor's like, oh, it's good that they know of me, because then I don't have to introduce myself, but then she's also like, oh god, they've probably heard all of these awful stories, all of these terrible, terrible rumors, my goodness.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
That's not so bad. Aenor doesn't believe that's true, but at least they don't think she's some baby-murdering wild woman. That's good.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
And tell me about the Duke.
I've heard very little about Duke Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the civil war. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
What have you heard about me? Everything they've told you is fact. It's idle gossip. I'm drawn to this because I find it amusing, but Aenor isn't so ballsy to be like, oh, all of the rumors, fact. Absolute fact. Haven is full of orgies and, everyone's just getting it on. It's great. She doesn't have the balls for that. I think she's more nervous. She's like, I don't know how much she trusts these two, but at the very least, they're being polite. They are being pleasant. They're being welcoming. They're not making her feel like, you know, like, oh, Rabbit, what are you doing here? Like, they're not using racial slurs. They're being very cordial to her. So on, like, it's... But how much of that is the game? Are they going to make her say something embarrassing? Are they going to kind of draw her into a social trap? Aenor, her mind is kind of running circles right now of like, these people seem nice, but how much do I trust them? She's just so nervous. So nervous.
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
We're restoring peace. This is a holy calling. What's your point? I want justice for the divine. No, there is no holy, like, from Aenor's point of view, there is nothing holy or religious, you know, there's no undercurrents of that in what she's doing. She is here exclusively to restore peace to Thedas.
The Inquisition is working to restore peace and order to Thedas.
Here comes the outsider. Restoring peace with an army. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a woman of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests. You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lady, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
I love Vivienne so much. I love her. I absolutely adore her. Okay, let him go. Kill him. I don't care. Again, Aenor is not someone who does tit for tat. She's not the type of person to be like, oh, you were a bitch to me, I'm gonna be a bitch to you. Like, that's not her personality. She's like, you've publicly embarrassed him in a party. Like, Orlais is so focused on appearances. Like, Vivienne has basically just cut off his dick. Like, basically that's what she's just done now. And I think Aenor knows enough about Orlais and the Grand Game to know that social disgrace is far worse than death. I think that's probably why she's so unnerved by being here. So, like, let him go. Let him live with the shame of it. Also, let's not just kill a man. There's no reason to. Just let him go.
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first Enchanter of Montsimard and Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
I love her voice actress. I love her voice actress. I don't say that because, like, Sarah appeared on screen and I was like, I hate this girl. Vivienne appears on screen, I'm like, I love this woman. Like, Sarah's voice actress isn't bad by any means. She's very good. I just don't like the character. Again, as things happen, I will point them out and my thoughts and feelings on them. But oh my God, Vivienne, you're amazing. you're so talented, you're so beautiful, I admire you so much, my goodness. What about the Marquis? What do you think is going to happen to him?
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Yeah, a pleasure to meet you. Interesting party so far. What do you want? No, we have manners. Josie has, at the very least, been, you know, teaching Aenor, like, okay, here's how you introduce yourself to someone of this station. Here's how you introduce yourself to someone of this station, and so on and so forth. Like, we will be polite.
Charmed, Lady Vivienne.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasantries. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
Is this business or pleasure? No, we're not just gonna flirt with her. That Aenor's not about that life. Okay, what are loyal mages? What do you get out of this? Do you support the Chantry? What assistance do you bring? Yeah, what do you mean, last of the loyal mages?
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So, for anyone who is unaware, Vivienne is very loyal to the Circle. Vivienne is incredibly loyal to the Circle. Like, this is an understatement. Like, I don't necessarily believe that Vivienne would lay down her life for the Circle, because I think Vivienne is a survivor, but she would do a hell of a lot to see the Circles restored.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
Here's the thing, Aenor agrees with that. That statement, we need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Aenor's like, yes, absolutely, 100%. Mages need to be amongst their own kind, because they are the only people who understand the dangers they face on a day-to-day basis. No one else, no matter how empathetic you are, you cannot understand what the mages are going through unless you yourself are a mage. They need that connection. However, they can't be forced there. They can't be forced to live there, and they certainly can't be in unsafe conditions with Templars who might abuse their power. There needs to be stipulations. There needs to be a vetting process for Templars at the very least. Like, Aenor's a moderate. I've said this time and time again. Like, she believes the circles should exist, but they, like, get rid of the Chantry oversight, basically. Mages should run the circles, no one else. They're the ones having to live there. Seeing as we were talking about the circles, does this mean you also support the Chantry?
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late Divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
You do realise that the Chantry opposes us, correct?
You are aware that the Chantry hasn't sanctioned this Inquisition.
The Chantry is leaderless. They're in no position to officially sanction anything. Besides, my dear, if there is one virtue the Chant of Light teaches us, it is forgiveness. Once the Inquisition has sealed the breach, I'm sure the new Divine will not care in the slightest about official permission.
I love that. Vivienne's just like, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. Just do the thing. Yeah, what kind of assistance can you offer the Inquisition? I mean, she is the Imperial Enchanter to the court, or whatever that title was, so clearly she's probably going to be a very powerful mage, but is there anything else?
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
Aenor's thinking, you had me at, I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. You can be my diplomat. You can deal with these people, because I sure as hell can't.
Does that mean you'd be aiding the Inquisition from the Imperial Palace?
Ordinarily, I would be happy to serve as liaison to the court, but these are not ordinary times. The veil has been ripped apart and there is a hole in the sky. It is now the duty of every mage to work towards sealing the breach. And so I would join the Inquisition on the field of battle.
I find it so amusing how so many people complained that Vivienne had the Knight Enchanter specialization. Because Vivienne is so prissy. Why would she want to wade into the field of battle? Literally, Vivienne says, I'm more than willing to get my hands dirty. Literally, right here, I'd be joining the Inquisition on the field of battle. She's like, if you want something done right, do it yourself. The Knight Enchanter specialization works perfectly for Vivienne. I love her so much. Oh, what do you get out of this? I think this is Aenor remembering all of Josie's advice. You know, Orlesians don't tend to do things out of the goodness of their hearts. And here's the thing, Vivienne clearly isn't Orlesian. Her accent tells us that. But, like, she's clearly adept at Orlesian politics and the game. Like, why are you doing this?
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Again! Why would anyone think that the Knight Enchanter spec doesn't fit her? Look at this! Oh god, again, we're not gonna flirt, we've just met this lady. Aenor's first impression of Vivienne, on one hand, she's like, okay, you're diplomatically savvy, you can help me out with, you know, dealing with Orlesians and all of this, but again, this is a woman who's clearly very good at the game. This, kind of similar to Sarah, I guess. Aenor's kind of like, I'm gonna hold you at arm's length until I can figure out what's going on with you, because with Sarah, it was that she's got manic energy, and Aenor's kind of like, I don't really know what you're doing, I don't know what you're thinking, blah, blah, blah. With Vivienne, it's like, you have this very strong mask, and I don't know what's behind it. I don't know what your intentions are. I'd like to get to know you so I can figure that out before, like, I consider you a friend or anything like that. And yeah, welcome aboard. Come on in.
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivienne.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
And presumably Aenor spent the rest of the evening at the party, in the corner, nervously hoping that no one speaks to her. Just like, please, no one speak to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. Please. Please, no one look at me. Okay, where are we heading? Game? Okay, we're back in Haven. And apparently we have a level, so don't mind if I do. Can I... Aha! Yes, okay. Good stuff. Let's level you up, my dear, and then we'll see if Sarah or Vivienne have any levels. Okay, where is my notes? There you are. Okay, the last thing we got was Spinny Death Goodness. Okay, so we want an upgrade. Okay, Vortex of Steel, Whirlwind Strikes pull nearby enemies towards you, or Rising Winds. According to my notes, I want the left one, so this one. Okay. Good stuff. Cassandra doesn't have anything. Sarah has 6 points. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sarah. Sarah is an archer. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the right one. There we go. Good stuff. No, Sarah. Vivienne has 7 points. Vivienne, where is you at? There you are. Okay, so we want to grab barrier. And more fire, apparently. Apparently all of my mages are going to be very fire-based. 5. Okay, and then we want this one, apparently, and then 7. There we go. Anyone else? Okay, good stuff. Excellent. Now then, how am I doing for my time? I have 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes on the clock. What does my journal say? What are we supposed to be doing? Return to Haven's Chantry. Champions of the Just. This is a go meet the Templars. However, we need to collect some more power. And then in Hushed Whispers. Okay, return to Haven and discuss Fiona's offer with the advisors. Got it. You know what? Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm gonna have a bit of a chat with our companions to end off the episode. I mean, we haven't really spoken properly with anyone yet.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
You don't know? You haven't had Liliana scour my background to the nth degree?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
We can make something up, or we can tell her. We have no reason to hide our past.
My clan never stayed in one place for long, though we primarily roamed the free marches.
Oh? I didn't think your people roamed that far north. But clearly I'm mistaken. I'm told some members of your clan might still be alive. Do you intend to go back?
Home is wherever I am. I'd go now if I had a choice. None of your business. I hated it. Eventually, perhaps. Ooh. Okay, neither 5 or 6, because again, Aenor is more than happy to discuss her past with people. She didn't hate it. I don't like 3 either. 3 is kind of... She wouldn't go now if she had the chance, because she's got a job to do here. She's not going to abandon her duty just because she wants to see her family again. Like, closing the rifts is... It goes beyond her. She has the thing that closes the rift. She is the only one who has that. She is more important to these people than her desire to see her family. So I don't like number 3. Eventually, perhaps, home is wherever I am. I don't know. I feel like either fits, because she does... Again, it's the perhaps. Eventually, perhaps. That's... If it was eventually yes, then I'd go for that, but... I don't know, and I'm... the reason why I'm drawn to home is wherever I am is because Aenor misses her clan. You know, she loves her family, but I don't necessarily think she gets homesick because she never really had a home. They were traveling constantly. And here's the thing, she did leave her family behind. Specifically her mother's family in Wycombe. Every time she wasn't in Wycombe, she was leaving her family behind. So I kind of feel like, I guess in an odd little way, she kind of, I think I said this in her backstory, she kind of was a little bit of an outsider in the clan. It wasn't that anyone was like, oh, we think less of you. You're not really Dalish. It wasn't that. They weren't outwardly hostile or anything. They were just kind of like, you're half Dalish. And Aenor would kind of always think, well, why am I half Dalish? I was born here. I was raised here. My mother lived with y'all for the years prior to her death. Like, why am I only half? Why can't I be both? I think it's Trevor Noah who said this, because Trevor Noah, he's a mixed race comedian. He had his mother is South African, and his father was Austrian, I believe. He grew up during apartheid. And Trevor Noah had a very good saying, like, why can't I be both? Why can't I be twice as nice? And I feel like Aenor felt that, like, why can't I be both? Why do I have to be less because of my mixed race background? I don't get that. So I think to some extent she did always kind of feel like, I love my clan, but I'm always kind of on the outside. I'm here, but I'm not. I'm a member of the clan, but I'm not. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with this.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Okay. You know what? Tell me about yourself, Cassandra. We were just talking about me. You tell me about you.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
I'd like us to be closer. No. Just being friendly. Suspicious, aren't you? No, we're just trying to be friendly.
No motivation beyond making things between us less
Antagonistic?
exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're Navarran royalty. You work for the Divine. That's all for now. No, I think Aenor would be very surprised. She didn't expect Cassandra to be a Navarran princess.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
Is that why you left Navarra, so you're not on good terms? Others would be thankful. Others might be thankful, but Cassandra's clearly not. This is irrelevant. Did you leave Navarra to get away from that?
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Yeah, you have a brother?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Okay. Can you tell me anything about Navarra?
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus, I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then, I realized I knew it not at all.
And what about your parents?
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortale tarsi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Aenor's just thinking, a mortale what?
Your uncle was a mortale tarsi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortale tarsi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Nevarans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So you were the right hand to the divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But okay, that's great, but what is a right hand?
But what does a right hand do, exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
Sounds like you really believed in her.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So I know I have run out of time for this episode. However, I feel like we should go down this dialogue tree before ending the episode.
So, what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
You're being modest. That's how stories work. So what happened? So if you remember, I said before there was an animated film starring Cassandra involving a plot to kill the Divine using dragons. This is it. You're being modest. Again, let's be polite. You know, we want to hear the story. You know, there's no need to be an arsehole. Clearly, Cassandra's just being modest.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral that I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
So what became of the mages involved?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
That is very sad. You're still a hero, impressive, typical of the Chantry. No, like that was a very heroic thing to do. Even if you did just stumble across like this conspiracy, you got involved, you did the thing, you saved the divine. Like, good job.
I think you're a hero, no matter how many downplay.
Fine. But it was 20 years ago. I will not rest upon my laurels.
Okay, that's all for now.
I'll let you get back to work.
There we go. Alrighty then. And yes, I am going to leave off for today's episode. In the next one, I think next episode is just going to be, you know, talking with companions, seeing what everyone's doing, what's everyone about, and all of that, because we haven't really done that yet. So I think that'll be interesting. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.